welcome to another installment of Dorm Room Cooking. This time on this show, we're going to be making an exotic dish that you may not have heard of. I like to call it eggs. Now, it's important that you inspect each and every one of your eggs before you use them. So you open up the package, look at each one. Sometimes eggs are white, sometimes they're brown. I've even seen a blue one. Who knows? It's all up to you. So now that we've inspected our eggs, we can... Oh no! Somebody has left the stove a mess. What you have to do in these sorts of situations is grab a sponge or some other wiping down device and take the sponge. We have a rough side for rougher jobs and we got a smooth side for smoother jobs. So this looks like a pretty rough job to me, so I'm going to wipe, applying the appropriate amount of pressure, and right there, you see that? Right on the floor. Now, one thing you have to make sure before you start any cooking on a stove is make sure your eyes are burning properly. This is what we call an electrical stove. The electricity comes up through to the eye and becomes heat. It's like heat is hot because that is knowledge. Knowledge is power. All right? So this is the lower right eye. I'm going to find the corresponding burner switch and I'm going to flip it to high. Now, I'm going to use the side of my face and I am going to put it near the eye, and when I feel the heat coming onto my face, I know that it is a working burner and it will cook our eggs perfectly. We now need to select a pan that can withstand the cooking of eggs. So I'm going to go up into this cabinet and oh, it is my favorite egg cooking pan, Mindy. Now here in this compartment, we have 2 boxes of butter. So, what we have to do is use our minds to figure out which box of butter would be most appropriate for our eggs. I see one box is labeled with someone's name. That means they did not want me to use it. Therefore, I think this would be the best butter to use in the cooking of the eggs. So we're going to take a knife and we're just going to hunk off a little piece and we're going to do a quick toss into the pan. See how fast that's a hot pan. That is a hot pan. Now it is time to select our eggs for actually making the eggs. Okay, so we're going to open up the egg carton. We're going to pick out one. We'll only be making one. I'm sorry, I can only eat one. Alright, so what we're going to do is we have to open up the egg because the egg is actually inside. This is an outer shell that is, wow! This is an outer shell that is holding, encompassing the egg within. So what we're going to do is we're just going to tippy tap. I call this the tippy tap. And we're going to put our thumbs in the crack and let her rip. Now we're coming back to that very difficult step in any food cooking process. And that is when we have to flip and turn the food so we can distribute the cooking and or mixing evenly. I call this the flip and turn. Now that we have accomplished the task of making eggs, we will now have to do the honors of eating it with our forks. Remember our forks. And we take a little bit, get a good portion on your fork and eat. Oh! Well, tune in next time for another installment of Dorm Room Cooking when we'll be cooking something that is also very delicious and will go inside our stomachs.